I hope that doesn't count against me. Alright. Now, let's continue. Let's resume and we can play Higurashi. Too much, maybe I overlook something. Waiting for me. The mood I'd come home to was already on edge. It's not an uncommon thing in our family. Whenever Dad can't come up with a good idea, it always ends up like this. He stomps around the house with his arms crossed. Mom whispered into my ear, "Welcome home, Keiichi. Dad, he's in a bit of a rut right now, so don't bother him, okay?" He can't come up with a new idea? It's because the deadlines are so close together this time. Your dad needs time to recharge or he doesn't work as well. Dad's paintings feed our entire family. If he runs out of ideas, it's the end of the Maibaras. We've never gone hungry before. Could it be that my dad is a master painter? Wouldn't it be easier to get an idea taking a walk outside rather than wandering around the house? The theme of the piece this time is in the household, so it seems your dad wants to use the house as a motif. That's quite a bothersome motif. Keiichi, pick up your room, it looks terrible! Sorry, I'll clean it up later. Oh, come on, please don't use my room as the motif! Keiichi, there's still some time before dinner, so please go take a walk out back or something. His bad mood is only temporary. As soon as he gets an idea, his mood improves and he starts humming. Until then, it wouldn't be a bad idea to just go take a walk so I don't aggravate him further. Well, I guess I will then. I said I was going to take a walk, but I didn't have any particular destination in mind. I just needed to kill some time. I got on my bike and pondered where to go. I could just go to read at the bookstore, but it would take an hour to get by bike to get to town. It'd be dark by the time I got back, so I didn't want to go unless I had to. The roads here in Hinamizawa creep me out at night. If Mio or Sadako ever found out about that, I smiled wryly. Oh yeah, there's probably still the mound of treasure, the dam construction site. The excavation of Colonel Sanders would probably take her a while. It wouldn't be so bad to have her owe me one. She might return the favor next time we have club activities. With a little bit of self-interest in mind, I set off toward the dam construction site. Tomitake might be there as well, the only person about information about the incident that both Rena and Mew denied knowing anything about. If I met him again, I'd like to ask him for more details. To ask, was there really a dismemberment in Hinamizawa? That was my real intention. It's okay, you get to see the flow of time as he walks around. I spotted Rena struggling up on the slope of the garbage pile. It looked like Colonel Sanders was lodged in there pretty firmly. It didn't look like Rena would be able to excavate him by herself. Realizing that Tomitake wasn't around, I began climbing up the slope unsteadily. Hey Rena, looks like you're working up a sweat. Oh, Keiichi! What brings you to a place like this? A place like this, huh? I see. She was aware of it at least. I received a signal for emergency assistance at an accident site. Where's the injured party? Huh? Accident? Huh? But there was a report Colonel Sanders was buried alive in the trash pile. Huh? Oh, that. You scared me. Don't frighten me like that, Keiichi. I was just kidding. I thought you might be struggling by yourself, so I came to help you out. You came for me? Well, I filled my quota for today. If I don't see Rena blush at least once a day, then I'm not getting my daily required nutritional intake. Just kidding. You're embarrassing me now. So, huh? What part was the joke? What part was it? I just ignore her bewilderment. Okay, now move out of the way. So where's Colonel Sanders? Sorry. Can't you see him in that cap? He's really buried in there. The Colonel Sanders was sideways, surrounded by boards and other construction materials like they were gauging him inside. According to Rena, it wasn't like this yesterday. It seems as though another illegal dumper came yesterday, dumped again, and now he's buried like this. You're trying to move this pile all by yourself? With those scrawny arms? There's no way she'd be able to do that with her slender arms. But Colonel Sanders, so cute! There's a chain of the Colonel Sanders at the store. This one, though, I should be able to take this one home. Oh. If Rena gave up on this Colonel Sanders, she'd probably start devising a plan to steal the one in front of the store. As Rena's guardian, I won't allow her to sully her hands with crime. Out of the way, I'll do it. Rena blushed again, but this time I left it alone. The pile was enormous. Also, the more days we wasted, the more likely another illegal dumping would occur. If it got buried any deeper, there would be nothing that could be done. Keiichi, I'll help too. Let me help. You just get in the way, so stay back. Pulling up the scraps, bending them, tossing them aside, I quickly became covered in sweat and dust. Flying objects drew beautiful arcs across the twilight sky, one after another. Lumber, timber, plywood. Damn it! No matter how much I threw out, there was still more! Even though I could see Colonel Sanders right there! After grandstanding like that in front of Rena, I felt frantic because of how little I had progressed. If I was going to do this more seriously, I'd need an axe or saw or something! That's enough, Keiichi! You're so sweaty. You don't have to try so hard. I'm just doing it for you, Rena. Don't worry about it. Rena began sputtering and turned beet red. Ah, whoops, I meant to say I was trying my best as to keep her from becoming a criminal. Oh well. I guess I just need a break. This is pretty tough. I sprawled my back over the grassy slope. I'm so sorry. You're covered in sweat. Rena patted her handkerchief against my forehead. It felt pretty nice. Well, wait here a moment, okay? My house is pretty close. I'll bring you some barley tea, okay? Leaving the handkerchief on my forehead, Rena took off running. The cries of the Higurashi gently cooled the air. After I was certain that Rena was gone, I picked myself up and headed toward what I discovered earlier. That was the garbage pile of magazines and newspapers bound up in twine. Unless I'm mistaken, I believe it was around here. There it was. They were bound stacks of not-so-reputable tabloids. They were stacked chronologically, going back quite a few years. It was quite a disturbing incident. It seems they haven't been able to find one of the arms, you see. If it was just as Tomitake said, then undoubtedly there would be a mention of the murder. These are troubled times. There's no end to these sickening incidents. There's a large part of society drawn in by these incidents as well, so it had to be recorded somewhere. I unfastened the packages and opened the rain-soaked pages carefully, looking over the table of contents. Not here. Next one. Not here. Next one. It was hard to search since I didn't know what had happened. I didn't know who the perpetrator or the victim was either. I only knew it happened here. I looked up every so often, checking to see if Rena had come back or not. I wouldn't want her to see me gawking at a dirty magazine. But it wasn't just that. Both Rena and Mion said they didn't know. But it happened without a doubt, as long as Tomitake wasn't lying. But then if both Rena and Mion... yeah, there was... If they had just said that, I wouldn't have gone so hung up on it. An incident that neither Rena or Mion wished to talk about. Trying to uncover after they had tried to conceal it out of good contentions. That made me feel as if I was acting against my friends. Hinamizawa dam worker lynching, murder by dismemberment. Here it is! The featured article was in the back, and it seemed that there was a photograph in the colored pages at the front. The pages of the featured article were stuck together and weren't easy to open. Rena could return it in a moment. Feeling rushed, I gave up and opened the photograph page. The police investigators were carrying a body bag, and newspapers reporters were all bathing it in camera flashes. The image was blurry and hard to understand, but I could definitely make out the headlines. A tragic nightmare at the Hinamizawa construction site. Lynching and murder, dismemberment. The victim was a site foreman. He had assaulted his assailants daily with an explosive backlash from his daily actions. It's a horrible image to see the site foreman as it happened. It really did happen. It seems the details were on the next page. I turned the page without pausing. On it was: the assailants butchered the victim's body with hatchets and pickaxes, then used an axe to split open the cadaver into 6 pieces: the head, arms, legs, and torso. I could understand from that headline. It was just too terrible. An incident. Normally a lynching is just assault and murder, right? Dismemberment with hatchets and pickaxes. That wasn't a lynching. That was a merciless killing to the letter, a brutal murder done by a group of people with hatchets, with pickaxes, with an axe. Ah! Uh-oh. I don't want to be too loud. I'm so sorry. Sorry! Did I startle you? Did I startle you? Rena dropped the axe as she was holding on to the ground after being startled by my voice. Keiichi, you see, earlier, you said it would help if you had an axe, didn't you? So then I brought an axe for you from the shed. Rena fluttered her arms in a panic, continued to explain and apologize. It seemed I'd been glaring at her pretty intensely. I'm sorry. I guess my reaction was a bit overboard. No, I'm sorry as well. I'm sorry. Night was drawing close. I was pretty worn out and wouldn't be able to do the rest tomorrow. It doesn't look like we can break that last beam without an axe. You brought it after all. I'll have to borrow it tomorrow, alright? Okay. Why do you look so glum? Tomorrow we'll be digging out Colonel Sanders, right? You're right! I really wanted to take Colonel Sanders home soon. We both knew that it was useless to apologize any more than that. I quenched my thirst with the barley tea Rena brought and wiped off the sweat that had now gone cold. We took the path to head home. I felt quite guilty about the tabloid wrapped up in my jacket. I muted it because I don't like the music that Manga Gamer chose. I don't think that was the original visual novel. So I just muted it because I didn't want it in there. Okay? I already don't like the sprites. That's just my personal feeling about it. So, yeah. So we can read the tips soon. So let's go ahead and save. And okay. Let's check. How long have we been streaming? So that was like 62 minutes ago. So that should be like an hour. So, okay. So let's read a little more. Okay. So let's view the new tips. And the Hinamizawa Dam Project. October 1975. In accordance with the Prime Minister's Bulletin number XXX, Hinamizawa's electrical development master plan was announced. The vast scope of the projected Hinamizawa Dam will have an incredibly heavy impact on the village of Hinamizawa. The flooded area caused by the Hinamizawa Dam would include the 5 areas of Hinamizawa, Takasudo, Kiyotsu, Matsumoto, and Yagochi. The submerged area includes 291 houses. Population 1,251. 1 elementary school, 1 middle school, 1 post office, 1 agricultural cooperative, 1 forestry department lumberyard, 5 shrines, 2 temples, and 1 fishery. All these communal cultural agricultural areas and the places of worship will be indefinitely submerged at the bottom of the artificial lake basin. Forsaking the hundreds of years our ancestors poured their blood and sweat into this fertile, resource-rich land is just too painful to bear. All the residents having homes that were to be submerged band together and created the Onigafuchi Defense Alliance. The dam project was halted and petitions to alter the plan were circulated. The citizens sought peaceful negotiations, my apologies, but the government and its puppet company, XXX, had openly refused. Performing unspeakable heinous acts, they quashed the, democratic actions of the villagers. But the villagers did not falter. Instead, they banded together even more closely and steeled their resolve to protect their homes to the death. The continuation of that frightening Hinamizawa Dam construction project is still stalled as of today. The villagers understand the stalling was caused by sublime power through unity, and they understand that this fearsome plan has not been fully withdrawn. The Onigafuchi Defense Alliance had been dissolved after it did its part, but the feelings of unity it garnered had not yet been extinguished. As long as that passion resides in the hearts of the residents, they'll continue to confront whoever next decides to sink their homes into a lake basin. Onigafuchi Defense Alliance Committee Chairman, Kichiro Kimiyoshi. Oops, I should read that the other way around. Oh well. Special tabloid report. Nightmare befalls the Hinamizawa Dam. Lynching and murder dismemberment. In X month of day, in XX Prefecture, at the Hinamizawa Dam construction work site in Shishibone City, a bone-chillingly gruesome murder dismemberment. Even though this case has shocked the archipelago, the police will give no details on the case. Exactly what happened to the Hinamizawa Dam. They probably didn't mean to kill him at first, but as the victims resisted by swinging around the shovel, the rest of the perpetrators armed themselves in return, and it quickly escalated into homicide. So said the aforementioned Investigator A. After this bloody tragedy was over, they were left with a body which nobody thought was alive. XX-san had tormented the suspects daily with his rough behavior. At first, it was meant to be payback. All the perpetrators were horrified by their deed, and one even turned himself into the police. It was the de facto leader of this group, XX, who had suggested hiding the body. Reluctantly at first, they soon began to think they did not wish to be caught. The construction site had numerous places to hide the body with 6 people. They were originally supposed to hide the body and leave the area, but the de facto leader feared that the consciences of the other 5 wouldn't be able to bear the burden, and came up with a horrifying method to keep them from turning him into the police. He devised the heinous method of splitting up the body among them and making each of them responsible for hiding a piece. XX had turned a simple manslaughter into a gruesome dismemberment and forcibly involved each perpetrator in order to create a sense of unity between them. Each one participated. But what does this mean? Person A spoke out reluctantly. XX had ordered each and every one of them to dissect a piece for themselves. They were hesitant at first, but nobody refused. In for a penny, in for a pound, was what it meant. Thus, an unimaginable bloody ceremony began. The perpetrators wept and vomited as they performed the gruesome task. There was one person who stubbornly refused, but XX threatened them, saying nothing would change if someone else ended up dead, and he gave up in his objections. But XX's plans collapsed in the span of one night. XXX, who had refused to dissect the corpses up until the last moment, had broken down into tears at the hospital where he was being treated for an injury sustained during the scuffle and confessed. The criminals were arrested one after another, but the de facto leader's XX whereabouts are still unknown. Also, the right arm hidden by XX has yet to be found. Despite an ongoing search, this horrible individual has so far managed to elude law enforcement. What could the police be doing? It appears that XX had said that he was going to throw the body right arm into the marsh. XX's car was discovered abandoned near the marsh, but there were no clues to his whereabouts. XX didn't trust his companions. One cannot deny the possibility that he had expected his companions to confess to the police and use his car as a decoy. My bad. Of course, I doubt that theory, since he has no car. One would expect him to have a limited area to which he could have escaped to, but within the station there were rumors going around that he had accidentally slipped and drowned in the marsh when he went to throw away the body. To the locals, that marsh is believed to be bottomless. It is known as Onigafuchi, the ogre's abyss, and it is said that the bottom of the marsh is connected to the hellish world of demons, that atrocious demon from hell that was XX. Could it be that he had returned to hell through the marsh? The Zin Dragon, bringer of luck and fortune, prosperous future, ladies leaping into your arms, business success, promotions, ambition, protection from harm, not just pachinko and horse races, but business and even love, guaranteed for your money back. Zin Dragon bracelet DX one piece, 27,800 yen. I'm glad he broke up the tension, because I was feeling freaked out from the music. Alright, let's see. Alright. How much more longer? Shh. Alright. I would say, since we reached the end of the chapter, I'd say we're done here. Yeah. Alright. So, thank you for participating, or whoever's still here or not. Anyway, let me think. So, now that I'm gone, I just want to say that while I set up the thing, that, I don't know, if it was fun and you enjoyed hearing me read and stuff, and as long as, like, I make sure, like, the audio is clean, that, I can probably do, if you'd be interested in some voice acting or something, I don't know, you can commission me through Coffee. Anyway, thanks for